a relation PostgreSQL, and I'm ready to start the project for that. I'm also thinking of to take advice from you that should I do the project work and then move on to the next lesson, or else should I go in a linear fashion?
Oh, right. So yeah, let me walk through that. Just before we continue, I forgot to remind you to tell you that I have to record these calls,
Mm-hmm.
and these are just to assure quality and just in case my boss has asked these recordings. But
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
they won't be shared outside Udacity. Awesome. So yes, so you're already done with relational data models, which is awesome. You're ready to start the project.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, these projects are actually these due dates. Sorry, I'm sorry, are soft due dates. All right.
Okay.
The main thing, and now especially with the current model. Um, you are not required to move linearly through the
Mm-hmm.
program.
Okay.
However, I would suggest you move linearly because in many occasions one unit builds on top of the other.
Okay.
But for sure, if you have like a specific thing you're working on like on your job or like something specific you need to go over like a specific skill you want to work, I
Okay.
mean it's up to you. So
Okay.
mhm.
Okay.
And all right, so with that being said, you're on schedule, which is awesome. So right here I'm just going to write today's Thursday, Wednesday, so I'm going to write here start working project. So the project shouldn't take you more than this week. And
Yeah.
as soon as you finish it, you can submit it. Uh,
Okay.
as I told you, these are soft due dates,
Okay.
and the review usually takes 24 hours
Okay.
to review it. And once you have passed all the requirements in the rubric,
Mm-hmm.
then that project will be completed and you'll be
Okay.
done. That's basically.
Uh, yeah, Xavier, here I have a question.
Yes, of course.
As I mentioned earlier, I am not really like kind of a technical person.
All right.
I'm a combination of technicality and business.
All right.
Now I just wanted to do project on my own. Will you be able to help me on like walk through the project one more time? I read everything, I understand everything, how to do that and all. But if I can listen from you, my perspective might change. First thing, and the second thing is what kind of standards I need to follow. Even writing a readme file is there, right?
All right, so yeah, let me walk you through the program and let me show you the actual standards. So let me share my desktop with you, and let me log into my classroom so I can show you to you right there.
Yeah.
All right. Mm, Great. So you're in data modeling with Postgres. That would be project
Correct.
number one, right?
Correct. Correct.
Right. So basically, what it says is that you are a startup called Sparkify,
Mm-hmm.
and right now they hold all the data in JSON metadata. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they have data regarding the songs,
Mm-hmm.
and they have data regarding the user activity, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
basically, what you're going to do, you're going to create an ETL pipeline. What this means, this stands for extract, transform, and load. You're going
Mm-hmm.
to extract the data from these JSON files. You're
Mm-hmm.
going to transform them and then load them into a relational database.
Yeah. Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
So this walks you a little bit of how what sort of data you're going to find in these JSON files regarding
Mm-hmm.
the songs,
Okay.
and these walks you what sort of data you're going to find in this user activity files, JSON
Yeah.
files,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And at some point you will need to read these JSON files into pandas data frames, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so right here, this shows you the schema of the final relational database that you would like to create. and
Okay.
that dimensional table. So basically, you have like different dimensions, data regarding users, songs, artists, and times. And these tables point to a fact table, which records log data associated with song place. All right.
Yeah.
So
Here I have a question.
yes, of course.
So now in project workspace, if you can open in a separate tab, we need to like switch between these tabs. I will create a table for user, songs, artist, time, and a fact table. But how do we define which one is a fact table and a dimension table? How we will correlate that this is a fact table and these are all dimension tables?
That is a good question. The fact table, most of it will point out to a column that already exists in the dimension table. So for
Okay.
example, right here, this fact table has user ID, and the
Yeah.
user ID will be found here in dimension table users.
Okay.
And it also has a song ID, and
Okay.
this will be linked to this songs table.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Under-
And you can even specify while you write your code that you cannot load any data here if it hasn't been loaded into dimension table first.
Okay. Okay. So fact table is here the metadata for these dimension tables.
Yes, I mean the thing here is, for example, here this fact table is better suited for certain sort of analysis, and especially to eliminate duplicates. Since
Okay.
this shows the user activity,
Mm-hmm.
for example, I would like to know, I don't know, maybe what is the artist most heard by my users, all right? But if I were to have all my information regarding the artist here,
Okay.
I will have lots of duplicated, for example, for my artist, I want the name, location, latitude, and longitude.
Okay.
So imagine if I were to hold this information here inside my fact table. So every time a user hears the same artist, I will have these data like thousands of times.
Okay.
So
Okay.
instead here in my artist table, I just have it once for each artist.
Okay.
And if I have users that you hear the same artist, like 1,000 users hear the same artist, I will have this artist ID repeated 1,000 times, but I won't have all of these data repeated 1,000 times.
Okay.
Right.
One more quick question. Every
Yes,
time it will be like 30 minutes of session, right? Will that be okay to be extended for 10 minutes, or you will be having a hard stops every time?
Oh, for our one-on-one
Yeah.
call?
Yeah. Yeah.
It depends, and I will let you know. For example, today is my last call, so I mean, if we pass like 5-10 minutes, it won't matter.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Okay. Okay.
Awesome. All right.
Okay. Sure.
So
Yeah.
then right here, basically, so it talks to you a little bit through all the different files that you have, how they relate to each other, and these are the steps that you're going to follow.
Yeah,
And
here I understand one thing. Create tables. I will be writing the create statements for the create statements, and I will do insert as well. If you can open that project workspace and SQL queries py file.
all right, let's give it some time to load.
Yeah.
All right, so SQL queries, right?
It's yeah.
So
Here,
mine is already, I already finished mine, but
yeah,
don't worry.
yeah, not a problem. So here I have everything empty, right?
All right.
My file will be empty.
Your file will be empty. That's
Yeah.
absolutely correct.
Yeah. I am creating the table, but when I do a insert statement here itself, I have insert statement as well, right? For the records.
Yes, right here in insert records, you will insert the values.
Yeah. Yeah. Here I will be how the ingestion is happening, because I don't see the data. I have the metadata here. Suppose example for songs table, I am inserting for the columns start time, user ID, level, song, and the values are given as programmatically here, which means it can be any value over there.
That's right. That's right. The thing here is, if you go like step by step, you will be working through the ETL IPython notebook first, and in that way you will understand like what like here it shows you where does it get the values, and it gets them from the files, from the JSON files that I will show you in 1 second.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So let me
So
have.
I will write down all these statements, and I will run the this particular file, which is no, not test, the
The
one.
ETL, yes, the ETL.
Yeah,
The thing
yeah,
here is the first part is just writing the create and drop statements.
yeah,
So that's like the easy part, because I
yeah,
mean the tricky part is just defining the primary keys,
yeah.
uh, and the drop tables. Make sure that you write if exist. Because
Okay.
if you don't write this, you're going to be dropped, since this is ran first. You're going
Yeah,
to be dropping tables that don't exist, and it will crash. Right.
yeah,
So once
yeah,
you're done with that, you're going to run the create tables,
yeah,
.py.
yeah.
And the way you run it, you have to open a terminal. So
Yes, correct. Yeah,
here you open the terminal right here.
yeah.
It's a Python.
Python. Yeah,
Yes, and
Python
the name of awesome. You
creatables.py.
got
Yeah.
that. Awesome. All right. And then we can continue to the build ETL process. And
Mm-hmm.
here, while you're working through this file, is going to show you how is it extracting the data from these files. So
Okay.
let me open these files. Basically, here we have already the files,
Okay.
and through that document, you're going to access these files,
Mm-hmm.
and when you're running that, it's going to import your insert queries.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to import them from this document into the ETL Jupyter notebook and run it, right?
Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah.
when you open this, basically this is what it does. It returns the file path for these files.
Okay.
And this is already written for you.
And I already like tested this ETL IPy NB file. How do you pronounce that, the file format for this? IPy NB?
So previously, this was an IPython notebook.
Okay.
Okay, but they changed the name to Jupyter notebook or Jupyter notebook.
Oh, okay.
But the extension remained.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to connect that, like, there is no dependency for making a connection over there, right?
For
Oh,
making,
okay, okay, okay. If I run this particular create tables py file, then only the database will be created, and then if I am able to connect here, then only it will connect to database. Before creating the database, it cannot make a connection here. That is why I'm getting error. Sorry, I got it now.
yes, you have to create the tables first,
Yeah,
run
yeah,
it to the terminal, and then you'll be able to connect here. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
Awesome.
correct. Yeah, correct.
So make sure you do that first, and then here you're going to basically you'll have the file path, and with that you're going to come up with the first song in this list, and here you're going to load the contents of this file path into the data frame, and they already told you how to do that here in project datasets. So make sure to go back there.
Okay.
And once you have it in a data frame looks a lot like in a spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So here you will have to write some code to get all the values and to select the columns: song ID, title, artist ID, year, and duration.
Mm-hmm.
I suggest you use the pandas iLog or lock. So do a Google search regarding iLog and lock, and how to index columns through that, and you'll be good to go with that.
Okay.
So as you can see right here, this is taking the song table insert that you wrote here.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And here, since you have this percentage signs as, what this means is basically is a string format.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're going to do is those percentage signs are going to be changed to whatever values you chose to here in song data.
Okay.
So basically, as you can see here, you're going to select song ID, title, artist ID, year, and duration from the file path.
Okay.
And basically, those are going to be replaced here. So that's the way you insert data into the table.
Okay. Okay.
Through these ETL Jupyter notebook. And if you want to make sure that you really insert the data, you can run these tests. In this test, you Python notebook as well,
Okay. Okay.
which is right here.
Yeah.
All right. And basically, you do the same for each of those tables. This is how the data frame looks, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And you do the same for each table. And basically, when you're done, what you have to do next is you're going to, once you complete the ETL, you probably know, you're going to complete the ETL .py. So basically, all the data that you wrote here, you're going to put it in this file. So this file is basically the same as this one,
Okay.
but it's made out of functions.
Oh, okay.
Because in that way, you don't have to run the whole thing like block by block.
Okay.
Run this file, and you will like extract, transform, and load all the information from this data into your tables.
Okay. Okay.
And that's basically the project. At the end, you'll have to make a README file, which is right here, and basically make sure you follow this requirements. And at the end, I suggest you look into the project rubric because this is how your project is graded. So the reviewer, what he's going to do, he's going to go specification by specification. And if he considers you met the specification, he's going to put a check mark there. But if he or she considers you didn't meet it, the reviewer is going to provide you with resources and reasons why you didn't meet it. And so the projects are not graded, but you don't pass the project unless all these specifications are being met. And you can resubmit it as many times as you need. All right.
Can you show me a sample README file so that I will know how to write that?
Yes. Let me see. Let me give you like a super quick pip into the one that I wrote.
When did you completed this data engineering, Xavier?
I actually graduated from data analyst, and since it's really similar, I was given access to this one like 2 months ago, and I just like sprint through it to finish all the projects before I began mentoring. So let me see, where are my solutions. All right. So I already have my solutions right here. So this is an example of a README file. So basically, you need to explain what is the purpose of having the dimensions tables and the fact table, and it talks a little bit about the duplication thing that I told you about, and you have to explain like the different tables. So basically, all the information that you have right here, discuss the purpose of this database in the context of the startup. Justify the database schema. I mean, just make sure you answer these three. And you're good to go.
Cool.
So you don't have to get super technical. They just want you to know that you understand the relational database and the purpose of this schema.
So basically, this is workspace given by Udacity, and I am doing it over there. But in real time, I won't be having this workspace. I need to do it in local machine, right?
No, you can for these projects you can submit your work through the project workspace. Also, since I changed Windows, it's not letting me in. But let's try it again. All right. I think I have it open in another. All right, I have it open here. That's why it doesn't let me. All right, so as you can see right here, I have this button where it says Submit Project. Once you finish all your work here in the workspace, you can submit the project right here. You can run this locally, but you will have to install Postgres. It's a little bit more of a hassle. We did it with another student like 2 weeks ago. And it is a hassle, but if you really want to do it, you can arrange a call and we can set it up.
Okay, sure,
But
definitely.
I suggest you
Uh,
finish it
yeah,
first here,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
after
I will
you
do
got it done, then of course we can
it.
run it locally. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Actually, my idea is like Python. I am not well versed on it as of now.
All right.
While writing the ETL pipelines and ETL job, basically, and understand the Pandas library, it will take some time. I'm thinking that I will take one more week for to understand the Python language and then attempt this project. Is that suggestible, Javier? I'm actually running already completed like 50% of program introduction to Python program. There is
All
another
right.
50% is pending. Once I understand the functions and loops, then I might be able to address this.
Yeah, and my suggestion still would be like, yes, continue to do that, but try to make some strides into the program, to the project at the same time,
Okay.
because some of these are like really specific to like they are not that difficult, and if you're like really struggling to understand them, once again we can arrange another call, or we have the student hub. So if you're like struggling, I don't know, if you didn't understand the log and dialog and the indexing of that part, I mean, ask me a question through the student hub and I can send you a resource, and in that way we can make sure you're still working according to the schedule. So I would
Okay.
suggest you do both, because
Okay.
in that way your learning will be, um, I mean, it will be solidified.
Okay.
That makes sense. All right.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Uh,
Is there
so
anything else I can help you with, Bharath?
yeah, one more thing. Actually, the program for the first lesson actually regarding relational databases, the coach has been covered the topics of normalization, denormalization, and uh, uh, what is the syntax of PostgreSQL and how do you complete that. Only those things has been covered, but when I see this project, right, the topics which are like not covered in terms of like, oh, what is the foreign key, what is the primary key, and when we are
Right.
creating, yeah.
Yes. Yes, those topics are they're not covered completely, but I think they cover everything you need for the project.
Okay.
And for example, that's what I'm telling you about one project building on top of the other. For
Okay.
example, right here, NoSQL data models, since these are denormalized,
Mhm.
these don't follow the normal 1, 2, 3, and 4 that we talked about in relational databases.
Okay.
You do you you spend more time focusing on the relationship of the different tables.
Hmm.
So and writing constraints of one when you have a foreign table, what foreign key in another
Okay.
table. So, but you will definitely touch on those. And
Okay. Okay. So, one last question, Xavier. I will not bother you again today. Uh, if you go back to that project space uh, and uh, particularly that create table file.
all right, let me load it again. So as you can see, the workspace doesn't like to be open in many in many windows.
Okay.
So let me be sure that I closed it in all other windows, and let me load it again. Mm.
And going through the progress of my project, instead of me waiting for like one next 1 week one on one, is that okay? I can post my question to you, and whenever you get time, you can answer that so that I can.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Yes, that's what the Study Hub is about. I
Yeah.
also suggest the, as you can see, you have the option of chatting with me, like a
Mhm.
private chat, but you
Yeah.
also have like the one that looks like a forum. So
Yeah.
I always suggest you ask it in both places, and there are actual other mentors live and in the big forum.
Okay.
And as I told you in our first chat, I log in every day. So
Okay.
for sure, yes.
Sure. Definitely.
All right. So
Yeah.
I'm here in the workspace now.
Yeah. If you see that create tables py file,
All right.
uh, uh, not that. Sorry. It is
Is
SQL
it?
queries
All
file.
right. Uh-huh.
Yeah. If you see that, like for the first create table itself, you have create table. Song play underscore ID is the column, but here you mentioned serial primary key, right?
That's right. So yes, you will have to define a primary key for each table, which basically means that this specific column it has to have a unique value, all right? And
Yeah.
for the
This.
ID, what you want to do is use a serial. This serial basically what it does, it assigns numbers to the ID in a serial fashion. So you get an ID1, ID2, ID3, ID4, ID5, ID6. So
Okay.
this works as its data type. As you can
Okay.
see, I have defined a data type for all of the others, but
Mhm.
this one is a data type that basically says, oh, you create the ID for me, please.
Okay, so every table will have a one primary key defined, right?
Yes,
And
that's right.
even if that primary key, whether it is, we need to define whether it is a serial or whether it is null or not null, kind of stuff.
Yes, the thing here is that the not nulls are the ones that, for example, the song play is created based on the, I think is the timetable.
Hmm.
So as you can see, here we have the start time, which is my not null primary keys, and all primary keys need to be not null. But
Yeah.
since this start time is here in my timetable and it's also here, so I want it to be not null because I don't want to have this value in this table,
Yeah.
but not have it in this table. So that's the
Okay.
reason that why these two extra are also not null because I can find these other two in tables in here.
Yeah, but however, I will not be seeing the complete data whether there is a missing value or not, right? How I will know which one I should be keeping not null?
All right. For the song play table specifically, once you work through the ETL, you
Yeah.
will notice that these start time user ID are
Hmm.
taken from one type of file, and
Hmm.
these others will be taken from the other type of file. So these are information regarding songs,
Okay.
and these are information regarding users, the user
Okay.
activity.
Okay.
So the thing is, in the sampling table, you absolutely want to have a user ID
Hmm.
because you might be missing the artist ID, the song ID. That's fine. It doesn't matter. I mean, but since this showed me the specific activities a user was performing in my app, if I
Hmm.
don't have a user ID, all the other data doesn't make sense.
Okay. Okay.
So and that's why the start time and the user ID are the not nulls because these specifically are referring to the activity that the user is doing in my app.
Okay. Cool. Cool. I understand now. Yeah.
All right, all right.
Okay.
Uh,
Uh,
I think you'll be able to handle it, but please don't hesitate because I know it can be sometimes overwhelming to like if the code doesn't run, and sometimes it's just something like super minor. For
yeah.
example, the first time I was running this,
Hmm.
I didn't write the if exists, and I
Okay.
was freaking out. I was like in a mental breakdown. I'm writing everything right. I don't know why it doesn't run. And then
uh,
I posted in a forum, and they told me, "Oh, because you're dropping the table before it exists. Write this." And I
okay.
did that, and it was so simple, but in my head it was so big.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, don't hesitate to ask for help.
Okay. Sure. Sure, Xavier. And very nice talking to you. And yeah, I think from tomorrow onwards I'll start writing the project.
All right, all right. So we'll keep in touch through a Student Hub. That
Hmm.
we can use that as much as you want. I mean
Okay.
that doesn't have a limit. And
Yeah.
for our calls, we have a limit of 1 per week.
Yeah.
But since we have a study hub as well, I mean, I think we are covered there. So
Okay.
awesome getting to
Yeah.
know you as well, Bharath. Once again, welcome to the program,
Yeah.
and congratulations on taking the decision.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank
All
you.
right. One more thing before I forget. Can you give me your email address so I can share the document with you?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. So what is it?
I'm typing into.
Into the chat? Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. I will share the document after we end our call. Thank you
Okay.
very
Sure.
much, Brett.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.